Today on our 2016 Ford F350, we're going to take a look at and show you how to install the Truxedo Truxport soft roll-up tonneau cover. This is part number TX269601. Now here's what our cover is going to look like installed. As you can see, it's got a nice flush fit to it. It doesn't have those old style hoops or those arches that you have to deal with. All that's incorporated right into the cover. The cover itself is only going to come up over the bed by about 1.5 inches, giving us a really nice sleek look. Now also we're going to be reducing wind drag with our cover. We're not going to have that buffeting wind that's going to be bouncing up against the tailgate. So this can increase our fuel economy by up to 10%. With our 16 Ford here, we do have the locking tailgate. So this is going to help to secure items. Once the tailgate's closed and locked, we're not going to be able to get to those latch mechanisms in there and unhook it. This is just going to be a really great, very affordable alternative for some of the harder style covers that might limit the access you have to the bed, or the old snap-in style covers where you have to go around and hit each snap individually. Now the first thing we're going to get taken care of is to put our weather stripping on the header rail or the front rail of our pickup here. What we're going to do is use just a little bit of rubbing alcohol and get that cleaned off really well. Then we'll start our seal right on the edge of the bed, and we want that to go right up against the cap on the bed. Now let's bring it right across. I'll just push down all the way across to make sure it gets a good firm hold. Next we're going to take our corner seals here. We'll take the ones that have the little half moon out of them. That's going to match up right here. So let's get that applied on each of our side rails. Now we'll bring our cover assembly. We're going to place it up here on our front bulkhead. Now we can grab our passenger side rail. We're going to place it up here on the side of the bed. It moved up there approximately where we want. Then we can take one of our rear clamps, bring it around the underside of our bed. And we're just going to loosely install this. And we can do the same thing over on our driver's side. Now we'll slide the front of our rail into the outside edge on both sides here of the bulkhead. Slide it all the way until it comes to its starting point there. And we'll go do the same thing over on the driver's side. Now we'll get our cover centered. We can just use the ridges here on the bed cap to get us lined up properly. And we also want our cover for the seal on the bottom of that bulk on the front to mate up with the seal on the top of the bulkhead. Those two coming down on each other, it's going to give us a nice contact patch. Now with everything lined up properly, we're ready to install our front clamps. Now these we want to get as far to the front of the truck as we can. That's going to be right behind this kind of pillar that sticks up there. And we want the teeth in the clamp to engage the grooves that are on top of our rail here. Now we need to check our spacing once we've got our cover rolled back. We want about 1/8 of an inch between the end of the cap here and the side rail. So make sure we've got that same on both sides. You can see we've got that small 1/8 inch gap there. So now let's roll our cover forward slightly without moving our side rails. Now let's get these rear clamps taken care of. We pull them back as far as we can, and go ahead and tighten them down without moving the rail. We want to do that on both sides of the truck. Now we're ready to put our center clamps in. So let's roll our cover back up. Now we just want to avoid having our clamps directly under this bow that runs across here. So let's see where that's at. We'll go just to the tailgate side of that and install our clamps. That should give us plenty of room from the bow. Make sure our teeth engage just like the other 4 we've already put in. Do the same for the passenger side. Now with our tailgate open, we're going to roll back our cover. Bring it all the way to the back, and we need to put a couple of seals on right here and on the other side. Then we'll engage the front side of that rear clamp right inside of that channel right there. Do it on both sides, spread our hands out wide, and rotate it down until we hear that double click. All right, perfect. Now we can come to the side, and we want to fasten the hook and loop all the way down the edge. Then we can go to the other side and do the same thing while we pull a little bit of the tension out. Now let's go ahead and check our tailgate for clearance here. It should make pretty good contact as we close it. We want that seal in there to kind of be pinched in between the cover and the gate. You can see there, seems to be working out really well. Tailgate's fully functional, but it still has some downward pressure just slightly to keep it sealed nicely all the way across. Now to release, we'll just reach in and pull down our handle on each side, and you'll see very easy to rotate it up. And then we'll actually roll it forward with the hook and loop attached on each side, and that's going to give it a good constant cover pressure. Now on older style soft tonneau covers like this, we always ran into the issue of constantly having to adjust the cover tension. Have to adjust it, tighten it up, or loosen it up, whether it's summer, or whether it's fall, or whether it's winter. That's all gone away now. With this Truxedo Truxport, they've got built-in tensioners right here. So as we close our cover, it compresses our spring slightly, and that's going to give us constant tension, always keeping our cover looking really nice while we're heading down the road. Now let's go ahead and roll our cover up. You can see the really nice supports that go across here. We don't have that old bow style. This is going to give us that nice, flat, really sleek look. Now once we get our cover here to the front, we don't want it to go up and make contact with the back of the truck. This is a beautiful and expensive truck, so we don't want any rub marks or any damage to be done there on the back side. So we just take our hook and loop fasteners, bring them around both sides. That'll secure our cover here in the stored position, giving us full and unobstructed access to the bed of our truck. Now that we've had a good look at it and we've been able to see how it installs, that's going to complete the installation of the Truxedo Truxport soft roll-up tonneau cover, part number TX269601 on our 2016 Ford F350.